Laura Kane After Dark with Eric. Rimmer is a podcast you'll dig. If you like it genuine and laugh so big. Laura's a lovable lunatic with a vibe so real. Her stories are crazy, the real deal. Eric's the talent, a diva with sass. He's kind, hilarious, and kinda crass. Producer Claire runs the show. A self-proclaimed nerd, always in the know. We're guaranteed to make you laugh, blush, or relate. Buckle your seatbelts and don't be late. Here we go, get ready. It'll be great. On with the show.
Hello, welcome to Laura Kane After Dark. We just started a group. It's an a cappella group. We're all here to share our beautiful voices. No, I'm just kidding. This is a very special episode. We have very important people sitting on this couch and a chair, which is pulled over. We have never in our entire 700 plus episodes, 6+ year history ever have had this many people sitting together at one time. So we're all sharing 3 mics, and this is going to be an important, very important episode for you to listen to and to watch, because it has to do with a movie. It has to do with a man. It has to do with a wife. It has to do with doctors, researchers, and something called The Last Gift. And it's called Jim's Courage, Our Hope. It's a movie. And you are a professor of medicine. This is, I'm Cheryl Delano. And Cheryl, you're a clinical researcher, a coordinator, and you're the one that did the groundwork for what is called the Last Gift study. Now, we'll start with you. What is the Last Gift study, in your words, and why was it created?
So, the Last Gift study, or the reason why it came about, was a chance for people who, even at the end of life, and who are living with HIV, are able to donate their tissues in hopes that one day, because of what they've donated, that we'll be able to find a cure.
And then we have Sarah, I like saying it that, or Sarah, I don't know what you prefer.
The Italian way is nice.
Sarah.
You say it so nicely.
Oh, thank you. Gianella, and you are the professor of medicine. And what is your role in the Gift of Life study?
So I am one of the scientific leads of the Last Gift. So myself and my friend and mentor, Davey Smith, who cannot be here today. He should have been. He bailed on us.
He would have been sitting laying on top of us. But
So we have been trying to study how HIV hides across the body for many, many years. And it's very hard because in people that are alive, usually you can't really get to all of these tissues. And so Davey actually had this idea after talking with his own patients and with the community. And there was this willingness of people at the end of life to give back and donate their tissues. And so we started this rapid autopsy program that it's called The Last Gift, where we do enroll people from the community that are at the end of their life. We perform these rapid autopsies and we collect all of these tissues. And so myself and Davey started it. And at the beginning, we were doing everything. And then
And when was this?
In 2017.
Oh, okay.
When it started. And then, we got money, we got funding, the study grew, and we were able to hire amazing people like Cheryl and Stephanie, our study nurse, and Robert Dice, who is one of our doctors on the team. And they are now doing most of the groundwork. My job is, I am one of the autopsy captain. So I am usually going to the autopsy and I coordinate all of the tissue collection and then distributing it to our collaborators. And I also do a lot of the data generation in the lab with my team and advertising it to the broader scientific community.
And so my understanding is the Last Gift study is when people with HIV or full-blown AIDS are at the end of their life and they're dying. They're and they want to give this tissue because it's tissue like a healthier person can't use, but it's something that you can use to study to find out a cure for this disease. Is that how I'm?
Yes. Yes.
So the tissues, what kind of tissues do you collect mainly? Is it everything?
We collect everything. And this is what makes the last gift so special, because HIV can really hide everywhere, and we collect everything. Like after just a few days that someone acquires HIV, it spreads around the body. And it goes in lymph node, it goes in the gut, mainly, but we can find it everywhere. So we do collect brain and heart and lungs and everything you can think, we collect. This is why it's a very comprehensive.
Has it been helpful in the years that you've been doing it?
Yes, it has been very helpful. Like, I think that the Last Gift right now has really become almost the gold standard of the rapid autopsy projects around the US, and we distribute tissue, very high quality tissue, to dozens of researchers that then can do experiments that they couldn't do with, otherwise, because we do it so rapidly, and so the cells still have a very high quality, and the protein are still
and these
intact.
people that have passed, and you're in there right away, they've signed something, they've just said, yes, this is what I want to help, I have this in me, and I want to help others.
Yes.
So we can eradicate this
Exactly.
eventually.
And I will say that almost one of the most important part of the Last Gift is really also the generosity of all of these amazing people that trust us with their bodies, and also their families, like Susan, right?
Yes, this is Susan. Susan's husband, Jim, he was a participant, and he had HIV, but he also had a different disease as well, which took him.
He had AIDS, actually. He was diagnosed with AIDS 24 years ago. But he also had many different kinds of cancer.
And how did he find out, or you find out, about the Last Gift study?
We, my husband and I, belong to Christie's Place. It's an organization in San Diego that helps women and children and family cope with HIV, or helping them gather all the resources. We have support groups through Christie's Place. Jim was also on the board at Christie's Place for several years. He was a facilitator at Christie's Place. Through Christie's Place, we became very familiar with UCSD and the people that work through UCSD. Through the years, Jim and I have belonged to the Community Action Board at UCSD, where they do AIDS research. There are monthly meetings are held there. Through that group, Sarah came to us to ask what we thought of the Last Gift study. Andy could take it over from there.
Okay, now, Andy, you take it from there, and then we're going to talk about a movie was made of this that you guys can see it all come together, and the history, and who it has helped, and who has participated, and everything. But Jim, you take it away. I mean, not Jim. Andy. There's so many people on this couch. Okay, Andy, take it away now. You said you were in the movie. You were featured in the movie. Talk about it.
I wasn't actually featured. I can be seen in the movie. It's really more specifically about Jim and Susan. But the UCSD Community Advisory Board that they are part of, I'm also part of. I co-chair it. And when Dr. Gianella came to us with this wild idea of doing a rapid autopsy study for people that have HIV, but they're dying from something else. It seemed a little novel, I guess. And what they did is there's a social scientist that's also involved in this study, and they worked with us to develop the informed consent and all these other papers and things that people have to sign and forms. And it's interesting because Jim specifically was a very, very big part of that. And I got to think that he had this foresight that at some point he would likely be a participant in the last gift. And in regular research, people that are dying with cancer, with ALS, or some other illness that's going to take their life, they don't qualify for any kind of HIV-related study. And so there's a large group of people that have been in research for years and years and years, trying to find a cure as study participants. And then at the end of their life, they want to do more, yet they can't because they don't meet the criteria for a study. So this study is amazing because it does let these people leave their legacy, leave their last gift, so that these tissues can be studied while they're still basically viable. And it's just really, really special. We've done some presentations around the country, and people they're very, very supportive of this. And
Give us a little bit about your background.
so my background, I was working in Los Angeles in the 80s in the entertainment industry, where that happened to be an industry that got hit very, very hard in the AIDS epidemic. And so my friends and I, were watching all of these people get, deathly ill and dying. It was really horrific. And so, I felt helpless. A lot of us felt helpless. There was no treatment. There was no cure. Science was working on it, but it was going to take a while, and it did, and it still is taking a while to research, research HIV within the body, because it hides, as Sarah was saying, and it gets into your DNA. So when I was in Hollywood and watching those folks go through this, it was horrible, and eventually I ended up finding Christie's place because I wanted to volunteer somewhere. I came back to San Diego. That's where I met Susan and Jim. And through there, we ended up gravitating over to UCSD and becoming part of this community advisory board. I got really, really involved in being a layperson that travels around following scientists, I guess. And I've been...
Katie may have something to do with that.
Susan was just saying Katie may have something to do with that. My better half is also someone who's on the Last Gift study team. And that didn't happen by design. That just was coincident.
Wow.
And, I like to tell this story because the first day that she was on the team, she was on a Zoom meeting at 1 p.m., I think it was, on a Tuesday afternoon. Next thing I know, I'm waking up at 5:30 in the morning on Wednesday, and she's getting out of the shower. And I'm like, what's going on? Do you have to go somewhere? And she goes, no, I'm just coming back from an autopsy. So she was called at, 11 o'clock at night. These things happen.
That happens
all the time.
Cheryl probably will be the better one to talk about that. But anyway, she's part of it. So it's kind of a family thing. And Jim and Susan, Katie and I have known them since they got here in San Diego, and they're like family to us. So it just kind of all fell together, and I'm really, really blessed to be a part of this.
How long do you have from the time you get the phone call that the person has passed on to get the tissue samples where they're viable and you get the best?
So again, what makes us very unique is this rapid autopsy idea. So from when they call the time of death, we'll just say by midnight. By 6 a.m., we would have completed the autopsy.
Wow. Whoa.
And so that means as soon as we get, the time of death, there's already a team mobilizing. And the one thing that I will say is, yes, this is, science and this, but I just want to acknowledge and take a step back that before we even incorporate any of the science, it is important for us, the team, myself especially, to build genuine relationships with not only the participants, but their family, who's essentially going to be the one to page us. So it's important that while the participant is gung-ho and excited, and finally, as someone living with HIV, I finally get to participate in research that it is important equally to get the buy-in of the family.
Well, that was one of the most beautiful things about this documentary, was you get to see how they handle and process this, and it's like they're just still a human being. They haven't passed on, and they say them by their name, and they're not just like patient number 5432. It's all very lovely and
It's personal.
Whose
Personal,
idea was
yeah.
it to make a documentary out of this? And was Jim on board right away?
Absolutely, he was on board right away, immediately. Jim wanted to give back to the community. He realized that if it wouldn't have been for the people in the 80s, the gay community, pushing and pushing and pushing to get some help, he wouldn't have been as alive for as many years as what he was. And he wanted to give back in any way he could.
Now, before we talk about where you can see this documentary, Seta, how have we made strides? Are we from the 80s, from when this was full blown? Like, are there steps in the right direction? Are we close?
I mean, we made so much progress. I think probably the field of HIV has been one of the fields that I can think of that made the fastest, amazing step forward as science. Like if you think that 40 years ago, people were dying, and now...
Is it because of meds like that have been developed because of research and stuff?
Exactly. Like because of research that has been done by many, many people. Right now we have amazing medication that people can take for their entire life and basically live healthy lives. They can marry, they can have kids, they can, live normal lives. And if people can afford to take it, which right now is not everywhere, obviously. And
this staves off full-blown AIDS. Is that what you're saying? So like
with AIDS, like in the US, we don't see as much AIDS anymore as it used to be. And
what about catching the virus in the first place? Like, is that? I mean, how close are we to?
We
stopping
have
that from happening, from eradicating it completely.
So I think that we realized not too long ago that when the virus is completely suppressed with medication, they cannot transmit it. It's the famous U equal U, undetectable equal untransmittable. That was a very big deal for the community, first of all, because there was a lot of stigma around transmitting the virus, and now we know that if someone is undetectable, they can't transmit the virus. And it's also very important for couples, for people who wanted to have kids, that we just realize it's much safer than we used to think. And I think we have all the tools to stop it, but we need to have the political will to do it.
Is it something that is it PrEP? Is it PrEP that people take to not get the
Yes,
the
exactly.
virus.
Yeah.
And that has helped tremendously. And is that what's really expensive?
So PrEP is amazing, and right now, recently, we have injectable PrEP. Instead of taking the pill every day, people can do just 2 injections a year. It's very expensive, and I think people don't use it as much as we would like to. So there is like a big implementation step ahead of us.
But you have it.
We have a lot of amazing tools, and I will say really the HIV research community, and also thank you to the advocacy of people with HIV that have pushed like crazy, especially at the beginning of the epidemics. I'm so proud to be part of it because I really can't think about anywhere else that we have made so much progress. But we're not there yet. There is a lot to do, and we need to keep fighting.
Do you think people, because it wasn't like it was in the 80s or early 90s, you think people have kind of just, it's not really that important anymore? I mean, have you seen that happen? And I hope that's not the case, but
no, it has definitely
Okay.
happened. It definitely, and right now still, but I just disagree. I think there is a lot to do, right? Because like not everyone can be on antiretroviral therapy, and recently, especially with all of the cuts, there is a lot of people, especially international, that can't and cannot afford to have drugs. So we will probably see more transmission happening. We also know that people with HIV as they age, and right now, we have a lot of people that are aging with HIV thanks to the medication. They do have an increased risk to get some aging-related disease like cardiovascular disease or cancer, and so I think that we want to invest more money and time and resources to, study aging people with HIV.
is that what happened with Jim with his cancer? Do you think it was it HIV related? His cancer?
His specific cancers that he had was not due to his HIV AIDS. Jim, as Andy said, was pure Irish. He had all 3 kinds of skin cancer. In fact, that was what is on the death certificate is melanoma as the main cause of death, not HIV.
Now, in this movie, who decided were like Hollywood people involved in this? This sounds like a movie that could be nominated for an Oscar. It sounds like it should be a documentary.
The producer and that worked with us, his name is Ryan Nees.
Yeah.
And he won 3 Emmys. He's amazing.
Did? Oh, God. For The Last Gift.
Not for The Last Gift.
Oh,
No.
but for other things that he's done. So he has a good pedigree. Is what
He
you're
has a
saying.
very good pedigree, and he's amazing. And he put a lot of his heart into this movie. So, I would love to win something.
And I'm sure Jim would too, because he put a lot of his. I'm sure is in most of it, right? Does this follow his everyday life?
Yes.
Living with
Yes.
this and
Over a
coming to
period of time.
terms with his mortality.
Yes. Ryan, the producer, was absolutely fantastic. We made the movie over a course of, a couple of years, almost a couple of years. Actually, the film was presented at the, help me out here, Beach
Break Festival
yes,
at
Beach
Half
Break.
Moon
Yes.
Bay.
Yes, in outside of San Francisco, in December 28th, it was shown, and we went to it.
And if you want to see it, you can either Google The Last Gift Study, or you can also go to The Last Gift
Movie.com.
movie.com, thelastgiftmovie.com. It's called The Last Gift, Jim's Courage, Our Hope. It's something that, Eric, you've seen and said is absolutely beautiful.
It's incredible.
Is there anything else any of you guys want to say before we close out, before I say goodbye to each and every one of you and thank every one of you? Is there anything that we haven't covered that is important to say?
I would like to say something.
Please, Susan.
And that is, Jim was the patient, but we became family. And the people that were involved in this to begin with, they didn't drop me. After Jim died, they're still in my life. They're still here. We still do things together. They are our family. It's not over yet. And Jim will be alive forever by all the specimens that have been.
And
he's everywhere, isn't he?
He's
He's in a lot of different.
World.
He's all over the world.
He truly is.
Wow.
Yes,
Well, and it's a
yes.
testament to the people in this organization and everybody sitting on this couch, and even the ones that aren't, on how it's very true. Like, they've been with him through this journey, and the fact that, you know, they're still in Susan's life is
When did Jim
incredible.
pass?
December 30th of 2024.
Oh, wow.
Just a little over a
Really,
year.
really recent. Are you doing okay because of your family that you've created through this beautiful
everyone is
project?
sitting on this couch has helped a lot, and my kids have too, of course.
It's The Last Gift, Jim's Courage, Our Hope, thelastgiftmovie.com. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank you so much. Of course, talk.
So I did kind of make boo-boo, and I have to go home after this, but I was talking about my better half, Katie. She is also a physician. She's an infectious disease doctor. So I have
No big deal, Andy. No big deal.
I have to give her that. And lastly, Susan was talking about the film festival. We had the opportunity. There's a research institute in San Francisco, the Gladstone Institute, that has a lot of Jim's tissues. And I don't know if you want to call it closure. I kind of think it is. But we were able to go and get a tour of the lab at the Gladstone Institute and put eyes on Jim's tissues that they are actually using.
Wow.
It wasn't as if his tissue was right there. It was all graft. I was thinking I was in school. It made me understand how Jim could be all over the world. It allowed me to know that that's how he is going to be for the rest, for eternity. As Sarah said, he'll be with us forever.
And people came up to us in the lab the lab was closed because it was the holidays, but there were a few people working, and some of these scientists that were there came up to us, and they were every bit as you know, nice and just respectful and humble, but allowing Jim the dignity, thanking Susan. So all across the board, this is the most special study I've ever been associated with. And I've been on a lot of clinical trial study teams, but the humanity that's involved in this is just unbelievable.
Very special.
But I think one of the biggest details that you left out, Mama Susan, is this actually just happened to fall on exactly his 1-year death anniversary.
Yes. That's
What?
true.
This?
December 30th, when they
Ended
up at the lab.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
was it
Wow.
your- yes.
Okay. I
gives
just
me
got chills.
chills.
I'm like big time.
There are no coincidences
There are
in
none.
life.
They're so true. So true. Okay. So let's end with each one of you saying, what is something that you want to tell our listeners that may have HIV or AIDS that want to help? Or that need to get involved in something, that need support? What is something? Talk to them. Sarah, you first.
So I know that right now it doesn't look like people have your back because there is a lot of attacks to science and to the LGBTQ community, but we will always have your back. We will never step away, and we will be in this forever with you, I promise.
Oh my God.
I think it's important to anybody, whether you're living with HIV or not, is to leave some sort of legacy, or you want to do something meaningful. And this is the truest form of altruism, is giving and not expecting anything in return. It is one of the biggest, most courageous things a person can do.
So I would say there's been about, 12 people already that are cured of HIV, but not associated with the last gift as far as the method. So it is possible. I will just parrot Jim's words. If he were here, he would say this: HIV is a virus. It doesn't know color, gender. It doesn't know proclivities. It just knows you're a human and I can infect you. And that's it.
And Susan, you go. You end this. You're the most important person here.
I can only say Jim was thankful to everyone for being able to live, as I said before, for as long as he could, or did. And having the Last Gift team in your life for your lifetime is the most special thing. I can't describe it because it's like we've known each other for years, and their families, and I mean, it's not just them, it's their families that make you part of their life also, and they don't forget about you. So if someone out there does have HIV and they want to think or are considering something like that, please have them contact the Last Gift team.
Okay, we end the podcast with a saying, and I think I'm going to tell you what it is, and we'll all say it together, and then we'll say goodbye to everybody that has been watching and listening. We really appreciate it. This was an important episode with important information and something, maybe you've learned something incredible today that will change your life. With that, we usually end it by saying, love your podcast. So I'll say it, and then we'll all say it together. Ready?
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Love your podcast.
Love your podcast.
Love you, my sweet babies. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, guys.